Hello, my friends. This is Sylvie Carey again, and I'm in my kitchen. Today I'm running a little bit of an experiment. I was watching something on YouTube about this big fad that's going on in Southern California. And actually, I say Southern California because that's where this YouTuber filmed this. They're making Korean corn dogs. And I thought, I grew up on corn dogs. There's nothing Korean about that. Other than one of the differences is that they do have cheese on them, and they also dip them in a batter, and then they put panko breadcrumbs on them. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to attempt to make a Korean corn dog. I have 3/4 cup of evaporated milk with 1 large egg. I'm only going to do 3 hot dogs because that's all that hubby and I can consume tonight. And I've got them wrapped in a cheddar cheese slice. I've also got a 1/2 cup of cornmeal, a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then I have my panko breadcrumbs. Starting out, I'm going to first combine those dry ingredients. And then I'm going to take my wet ingredients and I'll burst that egg, scramble it up in there to get it mixed. What's interesting about this is that there's all sorts of things that they do to these Korean corn dogs. They coat them in this batter. They coat them then in panko breadcrumbs. I've even seen footage where they coat them in French fries. It's all sorts of things. It's just an endless line of things that you can do to make things. So I'm going to combine my dry ingredients with my wet ingredients. And we're going to mix that all up and get that going. I've also got on my stove cooktop over there, I've got some oil going, and I made sure that the width of my frying pan is enough to be able to accommodate my hot dog skewers in the hot dog. So when I put it in there. So let me continue mixing this up, just make sure I've got all the ingredients at the bottom all covered. What we're also going to do is I'm going to finish skewering these other 2 hot dogs. Now I didn't have any large skewers to go in these, but I did have some chopsticks. And and this is the hard part, trying to get it to go in evenly so it doesn't burst on the sides. I think we're successful in that one. And then we're going to do the second one. The other problem that I had initially doing this was trying to figure out how to keep the cheese wrap on the hot dog. So I'm hoping that when I do dip them, that it does stay in there and it doesn't come loose and become a one big mess. So you're going to do this experiment with me. Okay, I got a large glass, a tall glass, I wouldn't necessarily say large, and I'm going to pour enough batter in here to come not all the way up to the top, because once I stick the hot dog in there, it's going to rise up a little bit and I don't want it to overflow. So we'll get that in there. And so far that's looking good. I'll put that to the side. And this is where we get our uh-oh moment. Will this work? So I'm going to take my hot dog with my cheese on it, and we're going to go and get closer to you so you can see this. I'm going to dip it down, and we're going to make sure that we get it all covered in there. And as we bring it up, we're going to pray that that cheddar cheese stayed on there. Ah, it looks like we have we have it done. Okay, then I'm going to put my batter coated hot dog in this pink and breadcrumbs. And we're going to get that all coated very well as we can. All over. We'll put that to the side. Then we'll go on, we'll do another. Pray, pray, pray that cheese stays on there. I saw this and just thought, you know, that's very, very interesting. It's a good play on a treat that a number of us had growing up, eating corn dogs, carnival type food. And now they've made it into a major fad. And supposedly this one restaurant has lines of people coming in to buy these. And one of the other things about it is that they limit each customer to only 5 so that they won't sell out, and then I'll have the opportunity to have more customers experience this treat. It's just that popular. And we'll put that one down. And then we'll go on to the last one. Dip that down in there. Swish it around so that it gets that batter all over. Pull it out. And we'll coat it with our breadcrumbs. As I was watching these videos, I thought, you know, you can coat with anything. You know, if you can coat with French fries, why not coat with, say, bacon? If you can coat with French fries, why not coat with hash browns? And it'll crisp up. Almost any type of thing you can put on here. Okay, hopefully these will stay together. When we come back, we'll put them in the oil and we'll see what we get. Okay, I've got my oil here and I'm hoping it's not too hot. And I'm gonna put in my first one and we'll see what happens. First off, I probably needed an even wider width skillet, but I think this will work. And I'll have to just flip it. So far it's looking pretty good. Now some of the recipes that I looked at had cornmeal in them and some of them didn't. And they still called it a Korean corn dog, even though the batter didn't have any cornmeal in it. So texture-wise, this isn't a smooth texture. It's a cornmeal-y looking type texture to it. It'll still be yummy. I even saw one recipe I thought was really interesting where they took the corn batter and they added corn and put it in and fried it up. That's my first one. Let's go on to another. Now I must have pushed the chopstick further up in this one because the whole stick is fitting this time. Corn dog, the cornmeal batter, rolled in panko breadcrumbs. I have a video that I made a few weeks ago doing pork cutlets, and the technique was very similar. Though I didn't use a batter, I used flour, egg, dipped the cutlets in that, and then from there I dipped the cutlets in the panko breadcrumbs, and it came out with a really crispy texture to it. Yum, goodness. So this is a similar technique. I'm going to go on in and put the third one in. And then we're going to go let these cool off a little bit, and we'll bite into them and see what we got. Here are my corn dogs, and they're not the prettiest things. I'm going to have to work on that. They all came out together. They didn't splutter or splatter, break apart, except for this little bit of cheese that came out. Okay, I've got my corn dog made with a cornmeal all-purpose flour batter, then coated in panko breadcrumbs. There's a hot dog in there covered with cheddar cheese, and hey, nothing left to do but to taste it. Actually, it's very good. I wish there was a little bit more cheese in there. And I think next time I do this, I'm going to do it with a big cheese square or rectangle in there covered in the batter. And I think next time also I'm not going to use a cornmeal batter. I'm going to use one of the other recipes I saw. This is very good. You can hear that crunch. Serving-wise, it does need a condiment, and I think something like some type of sauce, mustard, even ketchup would go very well on this. And will bring out those flavors. I forgot to add also, one of the things that they did at this Korean corn dog restaurant was after they fried them, they rolled them in sugar. Yes, sugar. And you would think, corn dog rolled in sugar? Now the people in the videos all raved about how great it tastes and how they were like shocked also that it tastes so well with the sugar. I'm not going there yet. I'm going to perfect the technique first, and then maybe I'll try some sugar. Anyway, this is Lady of Q, Sylvie Curry, and I'm making my first attempt at doing a hot dog wrapped in cheddar cheese, dipped in a batter, and then a coating of panko breadcrumbs, called a Korean corn dog. Thank you very much, and stay with me, and we'll be back with more videos to entertain you. Take care, my friends.